gotta say, I'm not going to complain about having to move from the last spot because this is pretty idyllic, to be honest with you. I timed it earlier. It's about a 15-minute walk from here to the first bit of, tarmac, and then another 5-minute walk to the supermarket from there, which is on the outskirts of town. I'm at the very southern edge of Santiago, in some kind of nature reserve in the cork forests. I'm hoping you can hear the birds singing. I spoke to my good friend on the phone yesterday, and he said that the UK's had record-breaking temperatures of -18. Don't mean to rub it in, but like, we've got 18 degrees here, but it's positive 18, not negative. Yeah. So I got my use out of the little abandoned farmhouse. I sheltered there when the storms came, gale force winds, and there was weather warnings on the coast of like 5-foot high waves or something ridiculous. So, there was extreme weather here, but it's just not extremely cold like it was there. So, yeah, didn't really plan on doing another update today, but I'm just sat here and it's too gorgeous not to share. So, sometimes that's the way the world works, you feel like you've, and one thing ending is the beginning of something else, I guess, is the way to put it. So I've come and sat over here on this little flat plateau just because it's nice to sit in the sun. There is a property at about the same elevation as me right on the other far side of the valley, so I'm not going to camp on the plateau here because it's a bit open. So this is why I decided to put my food here. So I've got my food and I've got my stove set up, and I'm just sitting having my lunch and stuff. And then I'm going to camp further across over there in the trees. It's still flat. I think this area looks like it's been levelled, so I don't know how easily my tent pegs will go in, because there may have been a property here at some point, but there's no signs of anything now. It might not be, it might just be a flat spot. But I want to have all my food and area where I've been eating well away from where I'm camping. There's a few like fallen branches and stuff like that, so I'm gonna, when I pitch my tent, I'm gonna put some sort of spiky branches around the tent, so that if a hog does come along in the night, it's, at least I'll hear it coming and can try and climb up a tree or something. I asked ChatGPT for any advice, and it suggested just make some noise, because wild boar are generally shy from people, so it said that just make some noise and hopefully it'll go away, which wasn't very reassuring, I must admit. But anyhow, so I probably won't get to upload this until the morning, because I'm not planning on heading back into town until tomorrow, and I'll use the Wi-Fi there. I'm going to pop around the clothes shops tomorrow and try and see if I can buy myself a pair of shorts or some tracksuit bottoms, and then I'm going to wander to the laundrette and wash all my clothes, because I had planned on hand washing everything and hanging it out to dry today. But obviously I've had to move location, and I don't have, I'm having to carry my water in with me here, because I'm, in the middle of nowhere. And Portugal's quite dry, so even if the map says there's a river, you get there and there's just like a dry riverbed. So unless it's actually tipping it down with rain at the time, there's not a lot of, even at this time of year, it's very dry. Yeah, so I probably will still go off for the hike. It might be delayed by a day or two while I settle into this new spot and try and find somewhere secure to stow the brunt of my gear, and just take absolute minimal stuff with me for a couple of days, hiking and staying overnight for a night. But it'd be nice to head out to the coast now the weather's nice, and walk north along the coast a bit. So my plan is to head to a place called Signs, I think is how you pronounce it, and then head north, walk up towards some nature reserves, and then turn east and walk back here basically. So I mean, I could probably do the whole hike in just a day if I wanted to, although it's quite short daylight hours this time of year. But I'm just going to deliberately drag it out a bit just to make it a bit more interesting. Yeah, I'm just got my phone plugged into my battery bank at the minute. Make sure I've got enough juice, so if I do get disturbed by wild boar in the night, I'll be sure to get some footage of it. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to rub it in, but I don't know if you can see that blue sky behind me, but just pretty much enjoying my decision to kind of come out here right now. Obviously, it's, you know, slightly nerve-wracking with no itinerary and no real planning. Um, it does mean that when I come out here later in the year for my cycle tour, I'll feel a lot more confident. I'm definitely still going to do it regardless of what my job situation is, even if if I don't end up keeping my job at the national park and end up having to do something else. Come next autumn, I'll just hand my notice in, put my notice in on wherever I'm living at the time, and just disappear off for a few months. And you know, it's just embrace the uncertainty, I guess. You know, it's challenging. I don't enjoy uncertainty, to be honest with you. It can make me quite anxious, but you know, this is how you grow. You stretch yourself, you push yourself out of your comfort zone, and your comfort zone then stretches to reaccommodate you, you know. So and then the next time it's a little bit easier. So this is a whole new experience for me. I would have enjoyed it more if I'd had my bike. I wouldn't have been so stationary. I would have, you know, been travelling and seen more, but it just wasn't to be on this occasion. So, you know, I'm making the most of it as I can. Um, Mackle commented about they might have, the people that disturbed my camp might have seen the video. I mean, it is a possibility. You know, I didn't exactly advertise where I was, but I wasn't that secretive about it either. I think it's more likely it was either the actual landowner. Um, sorry. Probably one of the neighbouring properties that is still, you know, occupied, notified the landowner and they came and had a look. I don't know. Certainly none of my stuff was touched, nothing was taken. And I've just moved on, left the place how I found it. You know, there's no litter and no mess, I haven't damaged anything. So, yeah. In the UK, you kind of know, I know what I can get away with. You know, I've spent my whole life there. You know, I know, I can gauge how cheeky I can be. It's a different story here. I don't know how seriously these things are taken, so it was easier just to move. And quite frankly, I'm happy about it because this is such a nice spot. Yeah. So anyhow, I've rambled long enough. It's an 8-minute video. It's going to take forever to upload. So I'll speak to you tomorrow.